Hi and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147, and it is time to work on my kookaburra. As you can see, I have not touched this since last time. It has been a crazy week over here at Add More Zest. So yeah, we're going to get a section done today. I am actually filming this on the day. That's how crazy a week it has been. I have not got any YouTube done so far this week. So I'm filming on a Sunday. But I do hope everybody is well. It's all good over here. It's just crazy busy. Thank you all so much for the positive comments on our sort of mini rebrand, which is not a name change. We're not changing anything the way that we do. We set up the website originally as sort of a way to find YouTube videos easily. That's what the website was set up as. There was no shop, no anything when we originally set it all up as 4Kids at 147, and then of course things have grown and changed, which has been absolutely amazing, but we felt we needed to up our game a little bit, and with the delay of the Christmas paintings, we sort of decided to go for it and push through the rebrand maybe quicker than we would have done if, of course, we'd have had all the Christmas and whatever else. But you would not believe the amount of things that need updating over time. There's still so much more that will get updated bit by bit, but the bulk, I say the bulk has been done. It's probably not even the bulk. The main is probably more the correct word. The main has been done, and yeah, the rest will follow. So I've not had a chance to diamond paint or anything this week. Also, my brother landed from Australia. I keep picking up 2 instead of 3. My brother landed from Australia last weekend. Him, his wife and their 2 sons, my nephews, are actually living in the UK for 6 months for my brother's work, which is absolutely fantastic. They're about 20 minutes away. So we saw them quickly last weekend. Of course, they were suffering jet lag. I had things to get set up and sorted. And then me and Will nipped round to their house last night. Spent a lovely evening with them all. So yeah, great times ahead, but busy times ahead because I want to cram in as much time as possible while they are this side of the water to be able to spend time with them all. But yeah, it's crazy times over here. Crazy times, but all good crazy times. So yeah, I am on a Sunday doing my WIP and Waffle, and then I think I'm going to try and get the rest of the weeks filmed tomorrow and the day after. I have a huge dekitting to do for my Walking in the Rain painting, so that's definitely going to keep me busy. I'm just dropping diamonds everywhere. Yeah, so I've got a huge dekitting and stuff to do, but I also have a house that is in dire need of some attention, and yeah, I feel like when I'm chasing my tail with the house, everything else takes longer too. So I think I have set my mind to the house is getting a full reset today. All those little bits, those parcels that have turned up that are just not been put away yet. I mean, I say parcels, there's only a couple haven't been put away yet, or letters that have come in that haven't been dealt with and filed and washing that's been done that's not been put away, all that sort of stuff mounts up. And yeah, I need to straighten all that up. I straightened up Admore's shop on Friday, gave everywhere a good tidy up, a good brush up, so I managed to get everywhere in there reset. We should be able to get out the rest of the orders this week, this upcoming week. Might be a couple of days in. I was kind of hoping for it to be Monday, no later than Tuesday. But looking at the amount of orders that we have, having a look this morning, it's going to take a few more days. But yeah, that will be our priority over the week, to get as many out as possible, which is another reason I want to make sure that the house is all reset, so I can just concentrate on that fully and wholly over the next week and get things all up to date. Oh, nice big section of this. Even if it is dark, these are some of the nicer drills in this set. It's actually some of the paler colours that don't quite sit the same. But yeah, I hope everybody else is having a great week. Is anybody else having sort of a Sunday reset? Sunday, get everything straight? Is that your day of the week that you get everything straight, or do you get to chill and relax on a Sunday? Sometimes I get to do it on a Saturday, which I prefer, because then a Sunday I can sort of potter and do bits. But we had a very busy day yesterday, so I didn't get to do any house. I was hardly even in the house yesterday. Luna was not impressed. But yeah, I felt like I was out the house most of the day until about 9 o'clock last night, and then I was just too exhausted to do anything. But yeah, that's how things are over here. I'm going to go through comments and questions, as many as I can, from Sunday's WIP and Waffle, so last week's WIP and Waffle, and potentially some previous ones if comments have been left within this last week. And then I may have some left over. I'll try hopefully next week, once all these orders are out, which I'm hoping will be the beginning of the week. Once all the outstanding orders are out, I'm hoping that I can potentially do a longer WIP and Waffle next week. Probably will be this section, and then we'll be back on an even keel for the week after. Things will be a lot more straightforward. And yeah, when I do my de-kitting of Walking in the Rain, I will go through comments from the Walking in the Rain WIP and Waffles, which will actually be nice and a bit different to do WIP and Waffle comments while breaking down a kit. So it'll be nice to see how that goes. I'm actually quite looking forward to that. But yeah, Irene, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she placed the wrong drills on a different place. She said she works upside down, starts from the left side, downstairs in the middle every time, she says, and turns right way up for the bottom every time. That can be the thing. I am very used to working with symbols if I have my painting tipped that way. It's my default way to tip if it can't be done upright. So if it's a longer painting, that's my default way to do it, a bit like I did with Walking in the Rain, and I'm completely fine reading symbols that way. But I am not in the habit of reading symbols upside down or the other way. I could do it, but it's not, I'd have to think more. And sometimes, to be honest, who wants to think more? So yeah, I would probably be placing even more wrong drills if it came to that. So yeah, it happens. Order time. Bellara, she says she doesn't think that I'd want the washing machine upstairs. She says, imagine the noise, she says, it will create downstairs when it's active. And that is a very valid point. When the washer is on a spin, I can imagine that being fairly loud once it goes into a full spin, especially if doing a load of towels. Mrs. BGG, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she loves the new logo and the website. She says she hopes that we're all doing well. Thank you. Yes, we are. We love the new logo ourselves. It's still a diamond. It's still Admiral Zest. It's just had a little bit of a refresh. And we've sort of slightly adjusted some of the colours in the palette and of course added some more, and yeah, I feel like it's giving us quite a bit more scope for things, which is nice. But as I say, you don't quite realise how many things we have our logo on. Even just, we need to update sticker sheets in the future just to change the font that's on the bottom of them. Won't affect the actual sticker sheets themselves. We're keeping that as the diamond without the twinkles, just because it doesn't so much work on the smaller stickers. And yeah, slowly but surely we will get things updated. I've been updating some sort of packaging that we use for certain things as and when things start running out. So it's probably going to take us a good while. There's some things that we have a very, very good stock of, and I know it will take quite a while for that stock to sell through before it will need newer packaging. But yeah, so we're not wasting anything that's already packaged. But yeah, it's going to be a process to bring it all through. Cat Lady, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she hopes that the Christmas event goes well. She says she probably won't be joining with the diamond paintings this year, as everything is still very much up in the air because she's planning to move, which I completely understand. It's a different level of crazy, is moving. She says she's currently working on 2 small 30 by 30 canvases, which will be Christmas gifts for her great nieces. She says they're both the same, an angel with a black background. She's trying to make them different by adding her own colours into the wings. She says, and she's dug her way into her spare drills. So it will be interesting to work on them. Definitely sounds like it. Sounds like it'll have a bit of variety in there. Hopefully get you through that black background. Because I can imagine that not being too entertaining. Right, let me get this one in. What are we going for next? Let's go for this one. It's my next big one. This is the egg timer. I'm going for on this one. Oh, I've got a rogue diamond. I've obviously been dropping more off my multi-placer than I've realised. Are we going to get out? Are you going to make me get my tweezers? You're going to make me get my tweezers. Of course you are. Of course you are. Hopefully I get quite a few extra diamonds in this one, because I've just noticed there was another one on my tray. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop them into the bottom of my container for my diamonds, my Elizabeth Wall container. I'm just going to drop those in the bottom, and they will either get thrown away when I dekit. Done it again. They'll get thrown away when I dekit, or they will get used if for any reason I run out. I can match them up. and use them. It's the lazy way of doing it, rather than finding where they came from. What we do in the crafting howl, she says she loves the rebranding. She says you inspire me so much. Oh, bless you. I'm so glad you like it. We've absolutely loved it. We've loved doing it, sort of tweaking with the website. We had an absolute ball last Friday, even if it was very busy. Very busy getting everything sorted on the website. And yeah, with loads more work to come, we're still so happy that we did it. But the admin behind the scenes for any business, it is never fully understood, I don't think, until somebody may have a business of their own, whether it be small or big. If you think big ones have full departments just to deal with the admin side of things. So yeah, there's always something going on, even if it doesn't look like it front facing. There is always stuff going on behind the scenes, and constant ideas for things that I want to be going on. It's always a playing game. Right, I think I'm just going to go to single on these. There is so many that I could possibly fit a couple in as a multi-placer, but there's so many single ones, I'm getting confused, so I'm just going to go to single. Anastasia, she says, Rebecca, stop spilling drills. I would love to. Absolutely love to. She says, when I spilled them on the Thursday WIP and Waffle, she said her mega tray did a backflip on the floor, and then she says she spilled drills on this video. She says, and it happened again. She says, you're jinxing me. I will do my best not to spill any today, but now I've said it, it will potentially happen, but I will be doing my best not to spill any drills because it infuriates me too. She says, all jokes, she says, of course. She says she loves my videos. She says, and this picture looks like it will be so pretty when it's done. It does. I do really like the colours in this one, and sort of how they're turning out. So I am excited to see how it goes. And I really hope that after this next week, once we have things on a little bit more of an even keel over here, that I can get some time in to do some more of this. I've actually got about 3 quilts that I need to sandwich together to get finished off, and I haven't been able to touch them either. So this weekend, it's a busy day yesterday, and it is work and house today. So yeah, I'm really hoping that next week things will all start to come together and calm down. Darcy, she says, hello Rebecca. She says, well, another year, she says she will be able to purchase the Advents. Oh, she'll be unable to purchase the Advent collection. She says she's had 3 large payments going out from July up until the end of October. Then she ends up playing catch up, she says, from November onwards, which sucks. She says no more. She says that she gets caught up and then she has to do it all over again. She says, however, she says come July 2025, she says she will finally have paid off her car. She says she can't wait. She says that will give her almost 400 to put on her personal loan to get it down. Get that snowballed. Get that snowball going and give yourself the freedom to be able to enjoy life a bit more. Sounds like an amazing plan. Right, just checking I've got all of those. That was one drill spilling out my tray. I don't class that as a full-on spill. Just trying to make sure I don't do it with these now. Tap the end of my tray because of course I tipped far too many drills in there than what I actually needed. And then we'll go to the next blue. Anastasia, she says, to the person talking about the paint gem symbols on the mystery kits, she says she thinks they did hear you. She says because she had the same issue with her mystery 3 sets. She says, but a friend got the mystery 3 set when it restocked, and she didn't have the 2 similar symbols on her one. One of hers, she says, was replaced with an umbrella. She says, so it has been, she says she thinks that Paint Gem have had enough people complain that it's been fixed. And sometimes, to be fair, you can get such, I'm trying to think what the word would be, but you can get like chart blind very much when looking at charts. And looking at, you know, the symbols and how things are set up, and, you know, there are many a times that things can just sort of get missed, I suppose. And then once you have them, and of course either you do them or your customers do them, things can become apparent afterwards, and then of course get fixed for any next potential rerun. But of course the first run of them may have that same sort of thing, especially if, for example, you're putting an order in. Quite often companies will be ordering quite a few canvases all at one time, so they're looking at lots of different symbols across lots of different canvases and trying to pick up check multiple different key points. That, yeah, sometimes things can get missed or just looked at but not seen, if that makes sense. Sometimes you look at something so much you just can't see any potential problems anymore. So yeah, I can get why it happened, but it's good to know that it has been fixed for future kits. Carrie, she says, hello. She says she wanted to say that she loves our idea for the diamond painting. She says she loves my creativity every year. The creativity isn't quite there for next year yet. Just pre-warning. I have no idea what is going to be next year's yet. And normally I have an idea by now. You know, an idea sort of forming around in my head, but I don't. She says they aren't for her. She says, but she has a puppy Christmas painting she says she will do for the Advent this year. She says she'll probably do what she usually does and split it into her normal sections, and then once she's done she'll move on to her current WIP. She says as of today, she says the 6th of October, it's her dog's bladder cancer surgery tomorrow. She says she's a bucket of nerves, and she knows he's a strong boy, she says, and she has 100% faith in their vet. She says last year he had the same surgery and a very rough recovery. She says, so she's just hoping for a better recovery this time. She said, any healing thoughts, welcome. I know there was an update on the group that he is doing well, last I heard. He is recovering, and everything went well on the surgery, which is amazing. Natalia, she said, oh, the diamond spilled out. Yes. I've changed up my storage from storage, and I'm using the Elizabeth Ward storage, which is great, and I am loving using a different storage, but I think my brain hasn't quite adapted to the different storage method yet. Maybe if I do get to find some time to diamond paint in the evening, instead of either working or collapsing and doing nothing, then hopefully I will be able to get used to it a little bit quicker. We shall see. Christina, she says she fully thought that it was a different channel when she saw this thumbnail, because along with the rebrand I did update my thumbnails on YouTube. She says she scrolled over the video at first. She also says very cute cover paper. Yes, this is one of our most popular stock cover papers. I say one of, there are a few that are extremely popular, but Flower Bed is definitely one of them that is well loved. Am I still... Oh, just spotted one that I missed. I was hoping it was this one I've just done, but it's not. Okay, we will get you in a minute, because I was going to do this diamond down here, and as I've been doing more, I've realised there's another diamond up there. So I'm going to do this arc first, and then I'm going to go in and fill those little bits before I move on to the black symbols. But yeah, I have revamped my YouTube thumbnails. Give them a little bit of a refresh every now and then, though I will say this one is probably the most dramatic refresh of thumbnails that I have done. It's always fun to sort of work on a new thumbnail, but it's not fun to work on different ones all the time. I do like the consistency when I am just using one type of thumbnail and just make it slightly different across the videos. But yeah, I have had a revamp of those. Heather, she says she needed to hear, she says, the discussion about grieving. She says she is finding this year, she says, really hard to deal with. She lost her dad earlier in the year, and her dog a few weeks ago. Oh, it's awful when everything happens like close together, or, you know, it definitely feels like close together. It just makes it worse. She says her logical brain is struggling with the fact that she is just not reacting the way she expected. And we are our own worst critics as well. She says she tries to, and in the background, she says when her door shuts, she says she is not dealing with it very well at all, which, rest assured, is the same for a lot of people. There is only so much that you can put up a front, and I think sort of part of the hard part is letting go of that front that you put on just a little bit, so that you can even things out again and not let it build up in the same sort of way. She says, but there is part of her that knows that that's actually okay, which it is. It is perfectly okay to, you know, grief is a really, really hard thing. She says diamond painting gives her focus and something to do when she wakes up in the small hours. She says, and your videos, she says, are some of the best at helping me cope in these moments. She says, so thank you. Oh, well, bless you. I understand it is such such a hard and awkward time, but really do go easy on yourself, because you wouldn't criticise somebody else for feeling that same way. And if you knew a friend was grieving in that way, or, you know, I want to say falling apart, but it's not. It's just, you know, letting the emotions come to the surface behind closed doors. You would ask that, you know, you would want them to show it more out of behind closed doors. Does that make sense? Yeah, so that you could support them and could help them and could know that it's going on. But yeah, we're always the hardest on ourselves. And yeah, grief is just horrid. It just comes in waves, goes in waves, never acts, never behaves the way we expect it to. So go very easy on yourself. I'm going to try not to tip as many diamonds into my tray, because I don't need as many. While I get some of these colours done, definitely don't need as many as I've been tipping in. That's the other thing with this storage. I tend to find that I tip more in than I would do if I was dealing with a bottle, because I still assume it's got the same amount of diamonds in as a bottle does, and it doesn't. It has way more. Kaz, she says, hi Rebecca. She says, hope all is well with you and the family. She said she has only ever intentionally put the wrong colour in the wrong place on a diamond painting. She says because the random colour that they put looked so out of place. She says she needed to change it, she said, and it looks better. And that's probably one of those things that's a bit like chart blindness. And they probably meant to put a different colour there. And yeah, just you look at a chart so much that sometimes you can completely miss something that in effect is obvious, or, you know, some wrong click of the mouse when creating the image or the painting, that just ends up putting a diamond in completely the wrong place. Right, let me turn. Have I left my light pad on? Hang on, no, there. Have I got? Okay, I think my light pad is flat. Let me just plug it in. I feel like with the black symbols on this one, even though I can make them out, there we go. I feel like, oh, the light pad makes a huge difference. So much easier to spot them, especially because this one I'm about to do, I would have missed those two. There is a few more than I thought there was, so I'm going to tip them into a tray to try and get them all on the first go. Would be kind of nice. Bev, she says she's looking forward to the mini diamond painting set, she says, for our event. Oh, missed another one. Hang on. And I'll read the next line of this comment. She says she's going to do her advent. So last year's advent 15 by 15 painting for it too. She says she's still got last year's event kit to do, plus a zesty wolf. She says last year's event kit, she says, was all kitted up and prepped alongside my video. So she'll probably do that one for her November event. She says she has, for the Diamond Art Studio November event, she says she has a long run up for Christmas. She says, but that's not a bad thing. She says she's loving the colours for the Colourful Kooka. Colourful Kooka, which is the name of this painting. But yeah, Christmas can get so busy for a lot of people and for everybody. So part of the thought, of course, behind this year's event paintings being a set of 4 minis is not only trying something a little bit out of your comfort zone, potentially, with the chart and a blank canvas alongside the mystery painting, which, depending on how long you've been diamond painting for, or depending on your interests, you may have never done one or either of those, or you may have done both. But yeah, they're small enough to not be daunting to give it a go. If you're wanting to try a blank canvas with a chart, 15 by 15 is perfectly doable, especially when it's broken down into 6 mini chunks to do over like 6 days. And yeah, you've got the mystery, but also if you do find that Christmas is potentially too busy a time for you, or maybe you have a few days over Christmas where you get to join in the event, but you don't get every day because of however busy life is for you, you still will hopefully have at least one completion at the end of December, even if it is just one of the 4 paintings, with some more to do at a later date. We're hoping that you'll have some to be able to be finished, and have that, you know, achievement for you, which in the month of December can be a very hard thing to do. Trudy, she says she has placed lots of wrong colours on a cheap snowman painting. She said as it was one she was doing with her grandson, who was 4 at the time, and wanted his snowman with red, green, blue, gold and any other colour he wanted. Bless. I can imagine him sat there going, no, I want this colour, I want this colour, I want this colour. She said he's very cute. Sounds very cute, and I am sure that snowman is a very loved, funky snowman, and definitely a unique snowman in with that. Funky and unique. 2000 Bugger says, hi Rebecca, her name is Bugger, and she's on my Facebook group. I do recognise the name. So she sometimes puts the wrong diamond on the wrong symbol if it's the last one in a section, and she's not in the mood to diamond paint anymore. Love it. She said she wanted to say thank you for all that I do. She says at the moment she is struggling to finish a Chelsea painting for her husband, and she's been using the days to nap instead of diamond paint. She's 35 weeks pregnant, so not surprised. Do not blame you for napping at all. And she does have young ones at home. She says the kids are 3 and 1, but they go to kindergarten in the day. So she does have time to nap, which it sounds like that is the best thing for you, because things are going to get just a little bit busier. She says she's been sick this pregnancy and struggling with her health, where she almost died in August, she said, from the blood loss. Shocking. She says that the doctors couldn't find an explanation for. She says your videos helped a lot. She says when she got lonely in the hospital, she said at night she struggled to sleep. So thank you again, she says. Oh, I'm hoping you're feeling so much better. And with 5 weeks or possibly even 4 weeks to go now, based on when the comment was left, that things are going to get so much better for you. and so much easier, and you can feel yourself again. Sometimes pregnancies, even in people that have been pregnant before, can just hit differently and just wipe you out differently compared to others. So yeah, I really hope that you feel a lot more like yourself once baby's here. Oh, trying to get that one to squeeze in the gap. Get a couple of smaller ones done. Right, let's do another blue. Where have you gone? Oh, hang on. I've got two different triangles here. Oh no, I've got an up triangle and I've got a corner triangle, and this up triangle is actually purple. I thought I'd drawn it wrong, but it's not. It is this one, because I've just gone through all of mine, and this is actually purple. I thought it was my bad drawing skills. Teresa, she says, on a confetti heavy section, or a whole painting, she says if she misses one or two and the colour she's working with looks similar, she says she puts the colours that she's using right down and she doesn't look back. Love your confidence with it, and I can completely see why you do. It is something that my personality finds extremely hard. But if I am in the right frame of mind to do it, and do decide to do it, then I don't look back. I have learned to go with the decisions I make based on the mood that I am in. Sometimes, and then, you know, sometimes I will end up going hunting and get the right colour. And I will deal with that in just the same way. Kim, she says she is thrilled with our advent paintings and she can't wait to work on them with me. Oh, perfect. I'm so glad. You know, they're not for everybody. I don't think any diamond painting can be classed as being for everybody. But I am so glad that many people are looking forward to them as well. You know, sometimes even the images might not necessarily be for you, but the fact of being able to try the different concepts across them, you know, they're small enough to be a very, very good tester. Kim also says, she says she grew up with a bathroom with a clawfoot tub and no shower. She says we would rinse the shampoo out of our hair using an old tin pitcher. She said such elegance. She says before she went in to take a bath, she would ask everyone, parents and step siblings, if they needed the bathroom. She says she always heard a no, but within 15 minutes, she says her irritating stepbrother would say he needed to use the toilet. That sounds like a perfectly normal family in my world. She says she tried to ignore him, she says, but then her dad would bellow, "Kimmy, get out of the tub so he can use the toilet." She said, irritates me to this day. She says, remembering that, she says, and it was 40 years ago. She says she did love that tub though. She says you can really relax in a clawfoot tub. Can't believe all that relaxing time was taken away from you, Kim. Marsha, she said her grandparents had a clawfoot tub. She said she loved bathing in it. It was so deep that you could swim from end to end. She says until they grew a little older and filled up the tub more. Bless. Absolutely love it. Right, Kookaburra section is done. I know it's a little bit less than last week's. I had a storming time doing a good couple of hours last week, or last week's WIP and Waffle. But yeah, that was prior to the chaos of paintings arriving. But yeah, another section is done. Hopefully next week, if I haven't had a chance to do any of this, we'll get this first row finished off, and then we'll see if we can get back to normal with things a little bit faster. But thank you so much for your support, for your love, and for being here and watching, and I will speak to you all again soon.